Good morning, CrazyJuan coming back at you for the original Next Level Gaming YouTube channel. Gonna head back into our Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program, out just recently for Xbox One, slightly before that for PS4, and it's been on Steam for a while. Last we were playing, we did a couple of hops up to orbit level and back down safely with parachutes and did a couple of science experiments. Today's lofty goal is orbital flight. So we're going to resume our save game. In the intervening time, I have done a couple extra flights to earn some science in our science sandbox play, so we can get some more rocketry advancements. So we got to start with that. Gonna head on up here to the R&D building and pick up advanced rocketry. We'll get a liquid fuel engine, another liquid fuel engine, and a larger size fuel tank, which is good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and research that, and we'll head to the vehicle assembly building. Okay, so starting from scratch, we'll have a command pod, of course. It's still the only one available to us. We're going to want a decoupler there. Might have to turn down the TV just a touch. I don't want to be picked up in the microphone. So under structural, we're going to get a decoupler. And we're going to need, before we forget, we're going to need a parachute for that. And actually, also, if we're successful, we might get hot on re-entry. So let's grab a heat shield. I'll put that on the bottom of the capsule. Then grab our coupler and go back. Remember, in Kerbal Space Program, there are no mistakes, just happy little fireballs. So then, at that top stage, we're going to want at least one of the larger fuel tanks here. Yeah. And that'll power our Terrier, which is a somewhat not hugely powerful motor, but it's efficient, which will be good for our late stage. So we like all that. Have to zoom out just a little bit. Gonna need another decoupler. And we're gonna want two, at least two, I think, fuel tanks for the second stage. Get ourselves a liquid fuel engine for that stage. Put some aerodynamics on it. We have it set to snap for angles, which is good. And then we want to grab the symmetry and we'll make 4 fins. Put them as far down as I can. about right. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so what we've got is we've got a burn, then a drop, and then a burn, and a drop, and a re-entry, which should be just about enough to get us there. Let's give that a try. We'll save it first. Yeah, well, alright. Name it if it works. Okay, so we'll set the throttle up, turn on the stability, and kick it off. We hit 50, gonna start trying to pull back. About there, I think. We might need some boosters. See if we can't yet level this out just a little bit and pitch it just a little bit more. I don't think we carried enough speed. How are we doing on fuel? Let's shut her down for a moment. Alright, start the burn again. We want to keep it generally like so, and we should be driving the farthest point of our orbit out right now. A little bit of fuel left. No. Are we going too fast now? Cut it. Cut it. Back to the map. Whoa, what is this map of? Have I didn't actually break orbit, did I? Let's see. B button pins that information there. And how do I rotate this? Like so. Okay, so there it is. And it is way out there. Ah, how'd I mess that up? Let's switch back to, let's angle this in and see if we can't get any kind of burn going. Wasted so much fuel. That's all the burn there is. That is pretty ugly. Almost circle though. Almost made an actual orbit there. I think my angle is just too sharp away from the planet. Need to bring it in some. Might as well see what I can get for this flight, I suppose. It's gonna be as far as I've ever been from the surface. And it's a long way back. Maybe I should just revert this thing. Let's go back to assembly. Let's put a couple boosters on this thing. Help it get that initial oomph off the ground, not have to rely on my late stage engine so much. That looks a little off. Bastard. Doesn't look too bad. Engines. I think these will do. How's that look? A little rough. A little better. Put some nose cones on those things. Alright. And our staging. Let's have that go with these. Don't have a lot of control surface, but should be able to. All right, let's take a look. Okay, it's heading out. Let's mark that. Let's pump that throttle up at the end here. Alright, switch back to the cursor. Right about there ought to be fine. Let's do some coasting. Okay, so now we align with our direction and throttle up. And if we watch this, it should work its way out to a circle all around. Let's keep it shallow. How we doing on fuel? Okay. A little bit more burn. A little bit more burn. Alright, well, it's not a pretty orbit, but it's an orbit. And we even have a little bit of fuel left. That's kind of pretty. We're on a four times time warp right now. But I do believe that we could maintain this orbit indefinitely. I didn't bring any science to do. But that's not a real big deal. I'm not entirely sure why our vector's moving so much. I mean, I know we're losing speed, but there goes a pole. So what you have here is you have our, I can't even pronounce, apopsis. That is the farthest point out. Over here, periapsis is the closest point. Of our orbit. I wonder if there's an achievement for doing an actual full orbit of the planet. But so far so good, not plummeting back to the planet like previous flights. Picking up speed again because the curve is going to sling us past. We're falling all the time towards the planet, but we're moving fast enough to miss. And as we pass closer here, we should pick up speed. With the closest point being the fastest we'll be moving. Good old Bob's having a good time. Much better than the happy little fireball he was earlier. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably ride it along to the full way around, see if there's any kind of achievement or anything like that, and then we'll do a burn at the tallest point of the orbit to shorten up the shortest point, which should put us at, an atmospheric re-entry. Can probably actually, oh wait, I almost jettisoned the final stage here, which would not be good. Gotta do our burn first. But we got a little bit of getting around to do before that. Definitely picking up speed though as we approach that lowest point. I'm hoping that's actually out of the atmosphere. That could be a problem. Could do just a tiny burn there, which should make it a higher altitude, at least a little bit. .54. See, 70 I think is the cutoff for the atmosphere, so that's probably an issue. Just gonna run into right quick here. Going real fast too. 60 is right on the edge of the atmosphere. Are we hot? Nope, we're okay. Got a little bit of fuel left. Going probably the fastest I've traveled in the game thus far. But we're just now passing the lowest point. So now we go to a retrograde alignment. And hopefully we'll have enough fuel burning. Well, we can wait. We want to wait till we get to the other side because we don't want to shorten the we don't have a lot of fuel. So we want to shorten the side we just left as opposed to the one way out there. So we'll make sure we're still time warping the best we can, and we'll be back one more pass out to the far point out there. Losing speed again as we move further away from where we've done our little gravity slingshot. Just a little bit longer and we'll be able to do our retrograde burn to cause an approach. I do believe that this would maintain basically forever. I think we're in a stable orbit at this point. I wonder what our speed is like right now. Yeah. Down several hundred meters per second. Definitely feeling further away. So yeah, essentially what you're looking at to get into orbital position like this is a big boost to get off the Earth, and then a slow burn at a pretty shallow angle to establish speed around the Earth so that you can stay within that gravity and be constantly falling towards the Earth and missing because you're moving so fast. It's almost like the Douglas Adams bit from Hitchhiker about flying only being, missing the ground. Well, we're getting there. Almost time to start thinking about our burn. This marker indicates, the marker down in the nav ball there, the yellow marker indicates I'm oriented away from my vector, my direction of velocity. And that's what I want to be. I'm going to be doing that, so I'll be slowing, thus no longer moving fast enough to miss the Earth, or Kerbal, as it were. And with any luck, we'll shorten that right up and have a nice re-entry. This will be the first time I've managed to do this outside of the tutorial. Without in the tutorial, you get a nice marker, and they'll cut the engines for you and get a little help with your trajectory. That is way out there. 3 minutes. Less than that, obviously, with the time warp, but probably take that down so there's less chance of me messing it up. I just hope I have enough fuel to burn long enough to slow us enough. We are moving as slow as we're going to be, which is why that makes sense, why we're doing it here. T minus 21. 22 or 20. Ner. And we'll go for burn. Alright, got ourselves an approach. Of course, we're as far as we're ever going to be and moving as slow as we're going to. We'll pick up speed though as we approach. Got the tiniest bit of fuel left. We can actually burn that and shorten the approach just a tiny bit. We can now jettison the stage. And now we let Mr. Newton drive, I think. got us on the time warp again. I'm hoping that's not too shallow. That looks like a pretty good dive in. Ah. Yeah, the capsule by itself is pretty touchy when you don't have all the mass attached. Got a lot of speed going. I'm not sure quite what that lighting effect is or the camera angle, but what ifs. That looks ugly. We're going so fast. I hope our approach isn't too steep. Looks like it might be. Burn may have been a bit dramatic. The retro burn, that is. Yeah, this could get ugly fast. Ah! No. Tiny little touches. Yeah, there's no way. Whoa. Can't believe that worked at 4 speed, but yeah. I guess we can go back to 4 speed since it's all safe now. Since we went through the exciting part as fast as possible. But there it is. There's liftoff, an orbit around the planet, and a landing with a recoverable vehicle. That is a first for me. We'll do that now. Wow, they call that a suborbital flight, huh? I'm not sure what I did to score wrong there, but it didn't make a lot of science. That's okay. Because we know how to do it now. So now we just take this here and our heat shield. Did the heat shield go with the seems like it. Or did I not have one on there? Let's try to grab this lower. There's the heat shield. Alright, you come off. You go on. And I don't know where I left the heat shield. That's okay, we'll get another. Okay, so we added a science lab to the same mission, and that's going to be heavier, and it's going to need some chutes. Okay, so we got chutes, we gotta get them set up right. Can't believe this survived. Okay, leave the drogues alone. We want these to be at 75.75 pressure so they don't pop too early and burn up. Alright, stages look about right. Let's give it a go. Start our turn. Not responding a whole bunch. Oh, that went all kinds of wrong. Let's just not do that again. Let's take a look at that staging. Okay, so this should be down here. Yeah, that looks better. Might also have something to do with, I don't know, the extra mass on the nose might be making the control surfaces on the back not all that great. So we'll start a little sooner with the turn. Little warm. Kick that off and let's coast for a little bit. Man, I don't know what that does. Interesting. Okay, so we want to point at that and burn. Burn. Lots of fuel left. Just extending that out. Okay, let's stop the burn. And when we get there, we'll do another burn. And see if we can't make this a tighter, more round orbit. Maybe a little bit more burn. Okay, that's enough. Bring up the cursor. We got a minute 18 till we get there. Then we'll realign. And do another burn, which should stretch the other side. And we won't get such a lopsided, crazy orbit. 30 seconds to burn. Okay, so our apopsis is 109, and the periapsis is 48 grams. So we need a little more burn to even that up a little bit. A little bit. That's pretty close. Mostly round. So here we are in orbit again. Only this time we have a science experiment with us. No new data. Let's keep it. We got more than enough fuel to back down the flight after this at the periapsis or whatever it's called. Just have to orient for retrograde. Like so. I'm gonna have to disregard that guy's party invite, unfortunately, because I'm doing a game recording with this Elgato card. Not prepared to be in a party. I'll read that soon. I think I've got enough fuel to burn that down anyway. So we'll back it down to real time again. Make the cursor go away so I can orient the ship. And and get ready to do our retrograde burn. My goodness. If I didn't go the first time, dude, I don't want to go the second. Alright, so we'll do our burn. And we overshot. Okay, so that should be like the easiest entry ever. And we'll speed up time again. And I don't think we'll need this anymore. And the chutes are armed and we're ready to land. It's just going to be that approach. Nice, gentle approach. Wow. Well, we got a moment. Actually, I don't think I actually want to go to my screen. I don't know if there's information there I want popping up on a video. Anyway, I'm sure Mr. Mullis will do a fine job of editing, but yeah, I'll wait on that. Ooh, it's starting to heat up. Let's slow time down a little bit. Because attitude is important here, I think. I'm hoping this isn't too shallow. Making a pretty show for somebody. Little correction on the attitude there. Well, I'm not seeing the damage meter come up, but it's taking a long burn. I think I got pretty lucky last time. I don't know if I didn't overreact. Coming down though. Oh no, there's damage. Stop it. The drogues can go now. At least we're finally starting to slow. Oh, there goes a drogue. That's not great. Ah, don't want to tumble right now. That is not helpful. Oh. Okay, I think the danger is past. Any day now with those chutes. There we go. That will be nice and safe now. So we'll pick up the time. So I won't make a bunch of signs on this because that probably won't count as a new piece of information or anything. That's how I've made the signs to get the parts I've got. So I have to do some homework and see what the next thing to really do is, but hooray. Did my own freehand orbital flights twice with successful landing, so pretty happy about that. And gonna look into what the next big leap for Kerbal kind on our video series will be. Let's go ahead and recover the vessel. I think I'm going to call it a night. See what that poor dude needs help with. If it's game sharing, I'm going to be pissed. Hey, that one actually counted as an orbital flight, so we got a little extra science out of it. So that's cool. So there you have it. That's an orbital flight and recovery on Kerbal Space Program there, and I hope it was educational anyways, and showed you how it's done, kind of without too much actual explaining, because I'm terrible at this stuff. But anyway, thanks for anyone who tunes in and catches this, and feel free to hit me up on Twitter or Xbox Live or my own YouTube channel at CrazyJuan, all CrazyJuan, all the way across. If you have any questions or want to get started with this, because it's got a pretty steep curve, please feel free to hit me up on Twitter. And thanks again to my buddy Mike for helping me put these on. And I hope everyone has a good and safe week. Thanks.